Going live now. We are now live.
All right.
Okay, we'll wait for some people to come on.
Okay.
Um, all righty. All
Yeah,
right.
I'm still watching it
Oh,
bit
are you?
by bit.
Yeah, I had to touch up on it. Yeah, that movie it is a good movie, and
It was awesome.
yeah. So just give it a couple minutes, and
No problem.
let's see here. I hope everybody got the what you call it what is it the notifications. Some people
Yeah,
tell
I
me,
did. When you went live, it just came up and said Roadrunner 89 is live. Yep. So
oh,
I
okay,
get I get the notifications
oh,
um
okay,
on
nice.
there. Yeah.
Some people said they didn't, but maybe they're just not hitting the bell right. I always tell them hit all.
Right. Once
Um,
you told me to hit all, then that's when
yeah,
they all came up.
yeah, and that's what I was told on other channels I follow. I was like, they tell me hit all, and
Yeah.
that seems to fix it.
Yeah.
Okay, we got some people on right now.
Okay.
Hey,
Humble complex.
yeah, welcome to the show. Humility Complex, our
White guy
humble
from Jersey.
white guy at Kirby Shrine. Hey, Cohen, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Uh, how's everybody doing? Today's show, we're going to talk about, we're going to do a movie review. And on the show, I got a guest, April Rain. Um, she's been on before on live panels and stuff, and she's agreed to do co-host this show and talk about the movie Bodyguard. I'm going to show you a trailer of the movie. It's an old movie, and it came out back in 1992, and starred Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner, and that was a year before I met my wife, so it was several years ago. But it's a classic movie. It's a good movie. If you haven't seen it by any chance, I would suggest you get out there and watch it. And if you have seen it, watch it again. It's one of those movies you can rewatch, and it's enjoyable. Um, but I'm going to show you. I'm going before I do this, I'm going to put up the Fair Use Act. Okay. And this is a Fair Use Act. We're going to use the movie trailer to talk about it, commentary, get people's opinions, some entertainment, and we're going to talk a little bit about it when it applies to history. And it is a historical thing because, it happened years ago. But let me go ahead and show the trailer. And this was back in. Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. you know, it's this movie. It came out back in '92, and you know, you see her. And how many years ago was that? I was like, gosh, like 30, almost 30 years ago. So I mean, she's real young looking there, real beautiful. She always has been. And Kevin Costner looks real young there. And you know, good scenes to the movie, but I'll go ahead and continue on.
Wait!
Mitchell, don't do it. One more time and I'm gone.
You remember something, Farmer. You work here. You work for me. Frank.
Rachel.
Hey, got you, didn't I? I need a drink. So, the only thing I can figure.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there once again. And I just want to talk a little bit about it some more. I don't want to play the whole song during it. I don't want no copyright issues. I'm not trying to play the music. I'm just trying to, you know, show the trailers, what the movie's about, and it's showing some scenes to the movie. I cannot show you the movie. I wish I could. I would love to just play the movie and we watch it together. But because of copyright issues, I can't do that. So we're just going to show the trailer and do some, you know, talk about it and do a review on the movie. And, you know, when me and Amy go through it, if you guys want to come on and jump on and talk about it, you can. I'll leave that open too. And then we're also going to talk about the remake they're talking about doing.
It's for you to take me. Only if you want to. Only if you want to. I'm getting fixed up here.
She didn't love me. Can you imagine that?
No, not really.
Good night, Rachel.
Stay with me. Come on, Frank, come on. Come on.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stop it right there. Okay. All right. Let me go ahead and okay. All right. That was the trailer of the movie. Great movie. You seen some signs up or some parts of the movie and that trailer, and you know that movie also. It was a good movie, but it had a good soundtrack to it, and Whitney's music was always awesome. I mean, nobody had a voice like she did. And, when we watch this trailer and do this movie review, I just want to reflect on that, the talent she had, the music, and she was a talented actress too. She did a few other movies after The Bodyguard. That was her first, and Kevin Costner, it was his idea to have her on the movie with him, and it was a huge success. There was a little bit of controversy because it's an interracial couple. There's some people don't like that, but overall, it was a huge success. It was an amazing movie, and I can watch it to this day and still enjoy it. And her music, I still enjoy her music. It's sad that she had to leave early, and she passed on, and that's sad. But she did a lot when it comes to music, entertainment, and stuff. And her music and her movie she did have an impact to people today. There's still a lot of Whitney Houston fans, and always will be. But I just wanted to do a movie review on that. A lot of people had requested that we do that. And I'm here with my co-host, April, and we're going to go and discuss it a little bit. But the movie's basically, she's, a famous singer, a big star like she was in real life. I mean, she was huge. And he's like a no-nonsense bodyguard.
Yeah.
And yeah.
He's a former CIA bodyguard, and he was requested by, I guess, her manager to protect her, and he declined. And then when he persisted, he was like, for 3,000. And so I liked at the beginning of the movie when he went up. I mean, you could see the security system was really shoddy, and he was like given different names, different aliases, and he was showing just how breached her security was. So I really like how poised he was. He was just really poised and direct and to the point as I rewatched it. I don't think I saw this movie as an adult. I saw it as a child, but I don't think I rewatched it as an adult. But I could definitely see some electric fatal, not fatal, some definite like flirtatious eyes when they first were introduced. When she was doing the rehearsal for Queen of the Night, and they locked eyes. He was trying to be more modest, but yeah, they had allured each other then. So I'm just curious to see what everybody's favorite parts of the movie were. There were so many good scenes.
Yeah, and like you hit on the security thing, and he played the part good as a professional guy, and he can see he's into attention to detail. I mean, he really looks at things, and he can see flaws in what their security system, and some of the things that the bodyguard she had, some of the routines they did, that he could see flaws in that and how to tighten up the security. And like you said, yeah, he was for the CIA, and I think he was part of the Secret Service.
Yes, that's what it was. The Secret Service, not the he was for the Secret Service for like the president. Yeah. My bad.
Yeah. He was talking about Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan, that he worked for them. And that one guy in one of the part of the movie says, well, Reagan got shot. He says, not on my watch. Like he wasn't there when it happened. Some guy like that in real life would get paid a lot of money because of their training and expertise, and being part of the Secret Service. I mean, being a bodyguard for a celebrity, I don't know what they pay them, but you could probably almost write your own check if you're that good. And then high profile people like Whitney Houston in real life do have bodyguards, because of who they are. Celebrities, people know them, and you got weirdos out there that would try to harm them. I mean, even though, you know, who would want to do harm to someone like Whitney Houston? I mean, she's beautiful, she sings good, but you got weirdos out there, you know, and being a high profile person, you need protection. And but yeah, I like that part about it.
Yes, and he threw shade on the he threw some shade on her staff a little bit at the driver and stuff when he was
Yeah,
like, you know, yeah, I'm gonna you're gonna be my assistant. And he was like, why? He said, because I forget what he said, because they always shoot the cocky black chauffeur driver or
oh
something.
yeah,
And but I really liked the fact that she was very open. She was very bubbly throughout throughout the film with him. He was very much in character. So it took a lot to get him out of character, and she did do that. But I was always confused about the ending. I never understood when she got off the plane. Did they get together or what? I don't think I ever asked. I don't know. But when she got off the plane, did they get together, or was she giving him a final hug goodbye? I don't understand. I didn't understand the ending.
I I think they left it open because, you know, she's getting on the plane and he has that new bodyguard, that old fat guy, and I thought that was funny. You know, he got somebody. But yeah, I think they left it open because she jumps on the plane and runs to him in the end, and you could either play it out in your mind like, yeah, you know, they couldn't handle not being apart, so they actually came together in the end, or you know, she just had to give him that goodbye kiss. I don't know. I mean, it
Yeah.
could go either way. I think they left it open,
Mhm.
and maybe they did that. Maybe they thought maybe later on they might do a part two where they get back together. I don't know. If that might have been a reason they kind of left it open ended like that.
Humbly Complex said it was a final goodbye.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. But I mean, you could take it like maybe that was a final goodbye, that we're not saying goodbye. I mean,
Yeah, that's
right,
true.
yeah.
But what do you think about her sister? Her sister was grimy in the whole the letters and things like that in the movie. She was caught up in it because she
Yeah,
was jealous of her sister and her talents.
yeah. And you know, the whole time they thought, well, at first they caught that crazy guy. He was just a weirdo, but there was actually a hit. You're right. And it was her sister because she was jealous of her fame. And, you know, she had the beauty, the voice, she had the success. Everybody loved her. And, you know, the sister was jealous. And, you know, you find out in the movie, I don't want to spoil it, but you find out that her sister's behind it. And, you know, and that's why they were able to find out where they were, because when he took her and her son to the mountains, you know, where his dad stayed, you know, away from everything, you know, away from cities and stuff, and how the hitmen were able to find out where they were so easy. And it was her sister.
Yeah. And he
And
was discreet. He didn't allow a lot of people to know the location of where they were.
yeah. And, you know, they didn't expect it to be her sister to do that. But, you know, that was a sad part. And her sister, towards the end, you know, felt guilty and says, you know what, I can't do this. And, you know, she ended up dying because of it. And that was sad. But, yeah, it was, I mean, the whole story, the plot, it was good. And, yeah, but I mean, I rewatch it and I catch little bits and pieces. Like you're saying, that driver she threw shade on, I didn't really catch that till today when you said that. I saw that, you know, he kind of said that to him and he gave him like a grin, like he was like telling him, but he wasn't like in a hateful way. It was like in a joking way, but like, hey, you need to tighten up your, you know, don't be
Right.
so cocky.
I like when he left the staff in the rain when she was performing at the club.
The what?
And they were breaching the security, and all of
Oh
the
yeah.
fans became erratic. And he had a different decoy and exit plan than Tony, her initial security. They didn't Sai, I think was her agent or something. But remember, they were like left in the rain, and he just detoured with the driver another exit and just beelined out of there. And then they
Yeah.
had like a fight scene. He was eating like I think an apple or something.
Oh yeah, with that big guy. Yeah, that was funny. I don't know if someone would be that talented of a fighter to make it that, because he was just eating an apple and he just trips him down, puts the chair over his neck, and the guy's like, okay, I give up. I
Right,
mean,
and
if
he was
someone
really
did that,
calm. He was calmly giving him an ass whipping. It was like he was calm about it. He really inflicted pain on himself. He really allowed the guy to inflict his own pain a little bit. But I
yeah.
do agree with Humbly Complex. My favorite part was with the sword when he took I think it was a silk scarf or something,
Oh
and
yeah.
jumped it in the air and it split. I was like, oh, that's dope.
Oh yeah, with the samurai sword and how it
Yes,
just split it in half. You know, those samurai swords are so sharp. I was seeing a documentary on that, and those samurai warriors would take those swords, and the test how sharp they were is just chop through bodies. I mean, it would slice through, and I mean that's pretty graphic. But those swords were so sharp. I mean, they would behead somebody within minutes. I mean, just one swoop. Um, and I saw a deal on those samurai swords in World War II when some of the Japanese soldiers surrendered. And it was customary when you surrender, you turn over your sword. And those samurai swords, a lot of them went back centuries. And they did a thing where they were, trying to locate these swords because, in their culture, they'd follow them through centuries, through generations, through families. And they had like a certain sword they'd make. And I don't know a lot in detail about samurai swords, but that was, interesting to learn, and I think I'm going to do some research on that. Yeah, but just recently they were been able to find some of these swords that from World War II from the Japanese soldiers, and I mean they were dating back like centuries. I mean, but I mean they're really well made and they're sharp. I mean, yeah. So that scarf splitting like that, yeah, that's true.
yeah.
Those things are that sharp. They can do that.
And I like
Um,
the pendant that he gave her, the little pendant that he gave her to press if she was in distress.
oh yeah,
That
yeah.
was
Little
nice.
security thing, and is
Mhm.
I think it kind of symboled like is right by our heart. I'm always with you. you know, and then she felt safe because if she felt in trouble, she could push it, and he would, show up to protect her and stuff.
But
Um,
I didn't know they slept together. So I mean, I was 10 when I saw it when it first came out, but I didn't know they actually slept together. But he immediately regretted mixing business with pleasure. And I could definitely understand why he didn't want to blur the lines. I didn't know why she didn't see it that way, but I could see where it would be a conflict of interest to be sleeping with someone you're supposed to be protecting because your guard usually is let down in vulnerable moments. So that was kind of heartbreaking. It kind of shifted their relationship for a bit in the movie. She was a
yeah,
little
and
salty about it.
and with him, I mean, if you're coming from the Secret Service, you're all about professionalism. But the attraction he had with her was so strong that he blurred the lines, and he knew he was wrong for doing that. But he was just in love with her so much he couldn't help himself. And I think with her, yeah, she probably should have been professional too. But the thing of it is, she had feelings for him too, and I think it'd be easier for the superstar to let themselves go than the actual bodyguard, because the bodyguard, you're there for one purpose, protecting her. You're not there for a relationship. You're not there, and it went there because, these two people had feelings for each other.
Right.
But
And he apologized. He did. He was like, it was my fault, because he didn't have he should have known. He was basically saying he didn't really he knew better. He should have had the discipline, because like you said, they do train these individuals in the Secret Service to resist the different lures that'll come when you're protecting certain people. So he just felt weak to it and immediately apologized and said it can't they couldn't pursue it any longer. So yeah, he felt bad for breaking one of his codes.
yeah, and he probably felt bad that he was putting her in danger because he cared about her. But he's probably because when you're in that type of work, you don't want to get emotionally involved because it could slow down your reaction. Compromise your judgment. Even though he wants to protect her with everything, and when that guy shot that bullet through the camera, I mean, he jumped in front of the bullet for her, so he was, there. He's going to give his life for her if it came to that. And it almost did there at the end. And amazingly, the guy that tried to kill her was like one of his old friends that was in that type of work. And I guess, the evil of money and stuff, I guess tempted him to go the evil way. But yeah, but overall, that was a good movie. Me and my wife watched it this morning and we enjoyed it. It was, even though we knew what was going to happen, we seen it. It's one of those movies you can watch later on and still enjoy it.
Yes, especially the soundtrack. My favorite song is Queen of the Night. I like Queen of the Night. I didn't really like I Want to Run to You. I didn't like the video. I'm like, yeah, I thought the song was pretty, but the video, I was like, geez. But it kind of made me depressed. She was like up in the clouds in heaven. And so, but I like Queen of the Night. Queen of the Night was a good song. But I didn't realize how many of these songs were on the soundtrack. I just was like, oh, I Want to Run to You was on the soundtrack. And so,
Yeah, that
um,
and I Will Always Love You. We always hear that one. That was on the soundtrack. The one that was playing on the trailer, what's that song called? I mean, we hear it all the time.
I have nothing. I have nothing.
Yeah, I Have Nothing. Yeah. I mean, all those songs were good. I mean, Whitney Houston, I mean, for her, I mean, I nobody has a voice like her. I mean, I mean, most of her songs were good you could listen to. You get some of these artists and they have good songs, but there's only a couple of them. But with her, I mean, her voice was just so good that she, you know,
Yeah, and her rendition of I Will Always Love You, she did a beautiful job. I like Dolly Parton's version. I mean, I'm not her. I like her version of the song. They did play it in the movie.
yeah,
But Whitney did a different version, a different style. But I don't see anyone being able to that magnitude redo those songs or
yeah,
the movie. I don't see that happening. I just can't visually see what the care. How are you gonna top that? You know?
yeah. Well, Whitney topped it, and even Dolly Parton says, "Wow, she took my song and outdid me." She's like, she just, I mean, she was honest, and that was nice on her part. She said, "Yeah, she did her song better than she did," and I thought that was, a nice gesture. That was sweet, and yeah, Whitney just, I mean, she had that voice. She could do it. She could top another artist on their own song, and that's hard to do.
Yeah.
Um, but she
That was
was that.
the movie of the year. When I was growing up, that movie was the movie of the year. And anyone can kind of Google, it was on VH1. It's called Pop-Up Video. And you can pull it up. And when she's doing I Will Always Love You, it talks about the tidbits of the movie and true facts and things. And that's how I learned. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, she's pregnant right now on the chair she's sitting on. Oh, okay. So it's like it gives like tidbits of
Yeah,
like Brett was saying about the movie about how she initially did not want to do the role. how she wasn't interested, and he had personally spoke with her and told her how much it would mean if she was a part of the film, and that's how they became friends. And I liked how they always supported each other. In the end, when they interviewed together, it was as if he was always there to be like, you know what, I know this is your first movie, and I put you out there to do it, but I always did see him when they were side by side. It was as if he was there to make sure she was good, make sure she was comfortable. And so looking back in hindsight, I do see that.
Yeah, and they were really good friends. I know, um, it was his idea to get her in the movie, and he did put her out there. But I mean, she did an awesome job in it. It was like for her first movie, it seemed like she'd done movies for years. What can you say? She's just talented, and he, and then when they had her funeral and stuff, he got choked up. I mean, they were tight friends. They were really close. And,
Yeah.
and it's sad to see that someone that beautiful, that talented, that has everything, just pass on like that. But,
And you can see in the movie, I'm looking, and you can see he had admiration. When I see how he looks at her in the movie, he had like admiration of her, not just her beauty, her talent, but you could tell he had just a genuine admiration for her
yeah,
throughout the film. You could catch it, like the way he would look, it's like, geez, you could just see it.
it's just like he admired her, like, oh my God, she's awesome. She's
Like, I'm
beautiful.
hugging Whitney, yeah. Like
That
in the
kind
end
of
right now.
Yeah, and I think I don't know, I think if they weren't married, that he would probably pursue her romantically. I mean, he
Could
didn't
you
because they were both
imagine?
married.
Oh yeah, they would make an awesome couple. Yeah, yeah. If she would have selected better, yeah, she definitely, yeah, a lot of Hollywood men wanted Whitney Houston. Robert De Niro, Kevin Costner, Eddie Murphy wanted to date her. A lot of people wanted Whitney in the late
Yeah,
80s. And a lot of people.
that
But yeah,
football
they would have
player,
made a great couple.
yeah, that football player from the Philadelphia Eagles, Randall Cunningham.
Yes.
Yeah, they said he really loved her. He'd bring her flowers and but I guess she just wasn't into him like that. I don't know. It just didn't happen. And I heard that Eddie Murphy stood her up, I guess, when they were like kind of dating. And so she pushed away from him. I don't know how true it is. I heard it in one of these gossip shows. And, that's when she got with Bobby and stuff. And I don't know, Bobby Brown. I mean,
Yeah, we
nothing
all
against
were.
him.
I wasn't an adult. Yeah. I wasn't an adult, but I spiritually knew she had downgraded. It was kind of like Sierra with Future. It was like, geez, but I was kind of disappointed, but I now I'm curious to wonder what would have happened if she would have gotten with someone who protected her, provided, and secured her the way it was in The Bodyguard. I don't think she's ever had that. That's what made him so intriguing, was the fact that she's never dealt with a man who ran his own circle in his own lane. She wasn't used to that. She wasn't used to someone dictating how it's to be done. He was like, she's got one more time and I'm done. So she wasn't really used to discipline and order. She really wasn't used to it. You could see from the company and the entourage she had around her. It was always light and fluffy and fun. So she wasn't used to it.
Yeah, and I think what probably her and Bobby Brown, I don't know, about their marriage. I know there were infidelity and stuff going on, but I think probably what troubled that marriage is she was so big, so famous, and I was watching this one show about her. They did like a TV show, and somebody called him Mr. Houston or something, and he was like mad. I don't know. I think there might have been problems there because she was so big and had it her way. Like you were saying, she always called the shots, and he was famous too, but he wasn't nothing like a star like she was. I mean, you can't even compare. And I just wonder if maybe she was too big for him.
Yeah, it was tough for her to even acknowledge her stardom.
Yeah, and you know the image they projected of Whitney Houston, whoever the people were that worked around her, they did an awesome job because you know the stuff that she had going on with the party and the drugs and the stuff, you know, we didn't know about. All we seen was somebody that was beautiful, that could sing, that just had an awesome personality, grew up in the church. You know, you just pictured her as this pretty, awesome, good girl type that just everybody loved. And, you know, the image. And I think she was like that, but I think, you know, the fast life and the, you know, all the glamour and you know, being a superstar, you know, sadly, a lot of those people get caught up with, you know, drugs and stuff. And, you know, she probably was that innocent girl. I think she was in the beginning. But, you know, that stuff gets to you in that type of life. And it's sad because but I
Yeah,
mean,
I think she could be vulnerable with Kevin Costner as friends. I think she could, because I didn't really listen to the entire at her funeral what he said, but I remember him saying they spoke, and I think she just wanted to have a different type of life than what she had. If I'm not mistaken, but I think she could speak candidly with him.
yeah. I was reading a comment. Humbly Complex says, in the scene at the closing store, I'm going to highlight this comment. She said, some people would consider me a stern woman. I'm not using the actual word, but my question is I wonder how many guys in Kevin Costner's position would be. I don't know. I mean, what would you say about that, April? That question? She asked me how many.
In the scene when she was getting changed and Frank was watching her
Yeah.
in the
Oh,
scene,
how
she said Whitney Houston said some people would consider her a stern woman. I
yeah.
don't understand the question. I'm sorry. If you could
I
elaborate.
don't understand it. Or how
Yeah, if
many
you
guys?
could rephrase it. Yeah, humbly complex. What do you mean? Meaning is something Whitney said about that scene, or
Uh, maybe she's saying that people think she's a stern woman and she's really not. Maybe. Challenged by her high class. He was working on her not dating.
okay, in the scene when he said, I know what you heard about me. I can be bitchy or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, okay, I do remember when she was explaining her character, what the media and everyone else said about her. But then I forgot her question. What was the question in regards? I guess she had Brett. I don't.
I can highlight it. I think this is the one. So, but my question is I wonder how many guys in Kevin Costner's position be.
Would be.
How many guys would be in his position? To have a relationship with her, or I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Come and
But
hop up on Humbly Complex. Come and hop up on if you want to elaborate on your question.
oh yeah, I'll put the link up here if you guys want to jump on. Uh, let me see here. Let me paste it up here. If you guys do want to come on and talk about the movie, you can. I'm going to open it up, and you can give your opinion. I'll highlight it up here too. If you want to come on, the link's right there. You can jump on. I was trying to explain. Okay. I'm sorry. You come on and explain.
But I mean, from a perspective of a bodyguard, if another bodyguard would another bodyguard give her the clothing like she asked, I don't know. It depends on I mean, you're talking about a secret, they do secret service. So if he went and got her the outfit, then he's taking his eyes off the mark, which would be the garter. So he's trained. So he's trained to not comply with anyone he's protecting, whether they want him to or not. That's how I looked at it. He wasn't going to go fetch her dress because that wasn't what he was. That's not his assignment. His assignment was to make sure that she was not in danger no matter where she went. So when she's like, "Can you hand me that?" and he didn't, I don't think he did it to be. I thought he didn't do it for one because he was trained to, but most importantly because she had this she was used to people getting things for her. She would, Tony would have gotten it for her. Other men in her entourage would have. So she's used to people getting things for her. And this was the first time where he looked at her like, what? And, he was calm enough for her. He's like, I'm on a job. This is what I really do.
Yeah, I think I know what she was trying to say. How many guys would be intimidated by her? I mean, her beauty. I mean, yeah, I mean, that would be a temptation to look at her. I mean, and he was being professional. Yeah, that'd be tough. But you got to. I mean, he's got to be on his guard. Even at the clothing store where it seems safe, you never know. And if he's focused his eyes on her, then he's not paying attention to the surroundings that they're in, even though it appears they're alone.
And even when she said, there's a reason I'm the way, she said, there's a reason I'm this way. And he said, I know. I don't remember. I think it was after the Queen of the Night. I think after he tucked her in and she was like, I'm this way for a reason. And he was like, I know, and kept walking out.
Yeah. Yeah, that was.
But what's this thing about Lizzo and Cardi B playing? What in the world?
Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to talk about. Hey, guys, in the comment section, they're talking about remaking the movie Bodyguard. Okay, I've read about it. There's some stuff on YouTube about it. And they're talking about having, I don't know what guy they're going to have in there, but they're talking about having Cardi B or Lizzo play, I guess, Whitney's part in the remake of Bodyguard. To me, I don't think that's a good idea. I think some movies you should leave alone. This is like a classic. I think we should just leave it because, to honor Whitney Houston and, it being her first movie and leave it like that. That's my opinion. I mean, they can remake whatever they want to. But there's talks about doing it. In my opinion, nothing against Cardi B and Lizzo, but I just don't think they would be a good person to play the remake of The Bodyguard. But what do you guys think? What woman do you think would be best to fit the role that Whitney Houston played in remaking The Bodyguard? I got one person, and you know what? I believe this woman would be the perfect person if you're doing a remake. Now, the guy to play Frank Farmer, I thought maybe this guy would be good, but he's passed. Paul Walker from Fast and Furious, I think, would have been a good one if he was still alive.
Yeah, he was my crush when I saw Joyride. Yeah, he would have been nice.
Yeah, but other than that, I don't know any other guys. I haven't really thought about that. I've thought about women that would be good for Whitney's part, and Cardi B and Lizzo. I don't think would be a good choice. I just don't. I mean,
What woman do you think? You said what women did you select?
okay,
Hold on.
okay. This woman I think should play if they do a remake, and you guys can put your opinion on this if you think I'm full of crap or you agree with me. Um, I think the woman that would be best to play Bodyguard in a remake is Kelly Rowland from Destiny's Child.
I knew you were gonna say that.
You know I was
Oh,
going to say
yeah.
that.
I
In the
knew you
remake,
were gonna say it. She can play Donna Summers, but yeah, but not in. Oh, I knew you were gonna say Kelly Rowland. I knew it.
yeah, no, the reason I say her is she's pretty. She can sing. I mean, she could play that role good, I think. And my opinion, this isn't just me. I kind of go against the grain on this from what other people think. I think she was my favorite of the Destiny's Child. I think she was more beautiful and more talented than Beyonce. And some people are going to say, "Oh no," I think she was, and she wasn't promoted as much as Beyonce. But if you really listen to her sing, and her voice is beautiful, I mean, and she's pretty and talented, I think she would be a good part.
See, I
Um,
thought the remake was gonna be a remake, but they were still gonna use Whitney's voice. So I'm
oh,
reading that they're completely redoing it. Oh, okay. So that yeah. Oh, I had picked Keke Palmer. I was under the impression that they were redoing it using the same music. And I say Keke Palmer because she does have a resemblance and her voice resembles the actual Whitney Houston, and I think she would be able to deliver it. I was thinking from a lip syncing perspective. I didn't know anyone was going to
oh,
even attempt to re-sing I mean, how can you re-sing any
well,
of Whitney's songs?
you can't. I didn't know they're going to redo the movie that in detail. You know, if they were doing new music, new songs, just I think it'd be better to do it that way than trying to redo Whitney's old songs or lip
Okay.
sync her voice. Like if you have Kelly Rowland, she could sing her own music and even make her own soundtrack to the movie. And
Okay, then yeah, I would then agree if she would be a good fit. I thought they were just redoing it and just reusing the actual music, and someone would be lip syncing it. But yeah, Kelly Rowland, hands down, would I thought she was gonna do the Donna Summers um as well. Everyone was saying I
oh,
think she would make a great Donna Summers. I'd
oh
watch
yeah,
it.
I think
And
so.
Whitney, because Kelly Rowland also would be a great pick because honestly, when they asked who they admired growing up, and she said Whitney Houston, and it was when she saw what was that fun video I think it was How Will I Know? How Will I Know? And when she was running around in the video answering the phone, and she had that really spunky hairstyle, it was totally 80s, but she did say how much Whitney Houston was one of her big influences as a singer. So yeah, I could see her doing Whitney. If it's a
Yeah,
total remake, yeah.
yeah. Kelly Rowland would be good for doing a movie on Donna Summer too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think.
What would Cardi be? She would just be the sister then?
I don't know. I think they wanted to use her as the main role. I just don't. I don't know. I don't think that would work. And Lizzo, I don't think would work either. And like I said, nothing against them. I just think they're different type of. I don't know. You'd have to make it a different type of Bodyguard. It'd have to be like a hip hop version. I think if he had Cardi B or Lizzo in it. I I don't. I don't know. I just heard that. I was amazed they were thinking about using one of those two to do it. But I
Yeah.
don't know what you have in mind. Me personally, I say just leave it alone. Let the bodyguard be the bodyguard. And then we'll come back and watch it 20 years later and then our grandkids could watch it and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. They have a
But
habit of every 30 or 40 years redoing the same movies over and over and over again. Kind of
yeah,
redundant. So I think it's a classic. It's a vault classic where you would just leave it alone. Um, I I personally wouldn't go to see it if it was a remake because I would be judging. We would definitely be judging it and picking it
Yeah.
apart. So I think like I'm reading and they're saying that there would be it's different writers and different composers. It's going to be a different theme, and it would be and they're talking about who they're going to cast. So
Yeah, and it would be a different time, different generation too. And those of us that grew up watching it would be like, what is this? And we'd be picking them apart, even if they did a good job. Like, no, that she didn't, nah, or he didn't do this, like the movie.
humbly complex. She said Jennifer Hudson would make a good Whitney, and she said also Lizzo because she has personality.
mm, Jennifer Hudson, I think, would be good. Lizzo, I don't think. That's just my opinion. Um, but I'm standing with Kelly Rowland. I think if I was the producer and I was remaking it, I would go get her.
Yeah.
I would open up the budget a little bit to get her on board. Now, the guy to play Frank Farmer, I'd have to do some research because I don't know. I haven't really thought about that.
Someone said Chris Evans. I don't know who Chris Evans is. I would have to Google.
Chris Evans. Or how about this? How about if we just how about if we throw Oprah and Dr. Phil in there? Would they be a good good for a remake of Bodyguard?
Oh my gosh. No. Oh my gosh. That is still, man. I just want to open a window and just ew. Ew. He would be too busy counseling her, giving her psychology advice and stuff. Oprah. Oh gosh, I couldn't imagine.
It would be. He would be trying to figure out psychologically more than protecting her.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I thought that Jennifer Hudson was doing Aretha Franklin.
Chris Evans.
Franklin.
You know what? Yeah, Captain America. He would be good.
Oh, okay. I don't watch what are those called cosmic movies? I've never seen it.
Oh, those superhero movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he would be a good actor for that part. Yeah. He seems like a no-nonsense guy in the parts he's played.
Someone said Bradley Cooper. Who's Bradley Cooper, Humbly Complex? What movies has he played in?
I
don't know who Bradley Cooper is.
How about how about Tom Arnold and Gail King? Would that work?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That would be a good Bodyguard. It could be a comedy version.
Oh my gosh. Tom Arnold. Ew. And Gail King. Oh my God. I couldn't visually even. Yeah. Would be Gail's too rigid. She would be too rigid. She would be like, oh, this is my line. Yeah, okay. She would be very rigid. I can't even imagine. He'd bring her flowers and she'd just still be sitting in the same spot, very rigid. She looks rigid it's just my opinion. Gail doesn't really look like someone you can say, hey Gail, how are you? And she would just be like, hello. She doesn't really seem personable in my opinion. She seems a little dry.
I don't know. It was a joke. I just thought it'd be funny. Maybe we could do a comedy version. I don't know.
Yeah. Someone said Ryan Reynolds. I don't know who Ryan Reynolds is.
I don't know who that is either. Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Jason Momoa.
Who is that?
I never heard of these people. You're gonna have me Googling tonight, Humbly Complex.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to research that. But I think the Captain America guy and Kelly Rowland. That's my pick. Those two. Thanks, Corey, for putting that out there. Yeah, I think that would be a good remake. Of course, they wouldn't be as good as the original, I don't think. But if you're going to do it, I think those two would be good. You know, she's beautiful, talented, could sing, and I would say do her own songs, her own song track. Don't go back to Whitney's because you're not going to be able to do.
She
What did you
wouldn't.
say?
She would struggle with the scrutiny. She would struggle with the scrutiny and the comparisons.
Yeah,
So yeah, it would be better to just, if they're gonna redo it, it would be just a different twist, a new soundtrack, and everything.
yeah, yeah. That way, she has her own style, her own deal about it.
I
Oh,
agree too.
Lizzo has a huge crush on Chris Evans. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, maybe we'll do Lizzo and Chris Evans. I don't. I think Kelly Rowland would be the best, though. That's
I
my opinion.
do. Pairing her with the right guy would be. I think Kevin Costner should just cast the role. Does he have a son? His son should be. If he has a son that's of age and is like 25 or whatever, and then his son should be the one. I don't know, but
I think Kevin Costner could direct it and or be instrumental in redoing the new one. And I would say don't do the exact same script. I would say do it a little bit different. You know, you can do the same story, but kind of spin it a different way. Don't try to do it too much like the original,
yeah, I agree.
because I think a lot of movies they make their mistake when they try to go in and do it too much like the original. And you know, the original, the writers just came up with it, the story and stuff, and they went with it, and it worked out. But when you try to redo it and try to, you know, try to recycle it, a lot of times that don't work. So I would go with maybe the same type of theme, but a little bit different storyline. You
Yeah,
know,
I agree. I totally agree. You have to find someone who's subtle, who's charismatic, and who has poise to play the male lead role.
yeah,
You
and he's got
know.
to be like a no nonsense guy that just professional and got it together. And then she's got to be, you know, talented, beautiful, and glamorous, and kind of like Whitney was, you know. And the part she played, um, you know, she played it well on how like a celebrity may act. Well, she was already a celebrity, so she was already used to that lifestyle, you know.
Yeah. Humbly Complex said Scott Eastwood and Zendaya would play a good character for the roles of the bodyguard. Is
Oh,
that
okay.
Clint Eastwood's son?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, he might. I haven't seen him a lot in movies. I've seen him in one movie for a little bit, and I haven't seen him act a lot. Uh, but he might be. I mean, um, that's a possibility. Frank, and who's Zendaya play? Who's that?
Zendaya, I don't know. She was in Disney and she has a couple of songs. I don't know what any of her music, but she's an actress and a singer. And she was also in the Disney entourage of
Oh,
like the industry. So she's an actress.
oh, okay. Yeah, that might work. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Dr. Phil. I think he should
Yeah,
be a great
yeah,
farmer. I got my real version I want, and I got a comedy version too.
yeah, absolutely. It just should stay. I think it should just stay the way it is.
Yeah,
But again, they need to keep recycling money, I guess. And I don't know. I think based off of the people they mentioned that they suggested, it would be a no for me to even. I wouldn't take the movie seriously. The movie was about an accomplished singer, someone
yeah,
who was like a worldwide global star who was adored so much she needed additional protection. So when you name drop certain people, how you carry yourself and how you perceive yourself, and also how you carry your voice is
Yeah.
important. You know what I'm saying? When you're visualizing, well, what did the original version? What was that about based on what you're trying to recreate? And for me, it would just be, I can't imagine Cardi B. I can't imagine Lizzo. I can't imagine Jennifer Hudson. Whitney, but it depends on what the directors, like these are totally different writers, different concepts, depends on what they're looking for. If they're
Yeah.
looking to cast a similar type of a Whitney and a Kevin Costner, then Lizzo would not be your prototype for
Yeah.
that film. That's just unfortunately the facts. But Kelly Rowland does have the casting physique and body type that Whitney Houston did possess in that movie at that time. So it just depends on what these
Yeah.
directors and writers want to cast.
Yeah. And you're right, because when I thought about Cardi B, you know what I think about? I think of her doing her videos, skimpy outfits, and then I think about her having her beefs with Candace Owens, like doing that thing she does. You know,
Yeah,
I just picture her
yeah,
being
yeah.
just drama involved,
Yeah, it
and
would be unprofessional. I mean,
it,
I don't, yeah. It'll probably
and
be all kind of drama on the set and argument. Now, she could definitely play like the Whitney and Bobby version because of,
oh
she
yeah,
has more of a, she'd be great for her. And what is it, Offset or Dipset or No Set? I don't know his name. I think it's Offset. But they have more of a troublesome, in my opinion, that's what my eyes see. So I can't separate her personal drama from that of whatever she would try to I just couldn't see it. I don't care what they cast her, it would just be a downgrade. These are
yeah,
passing now in school, and I don't see it. I think you would want to get someone who's poised, who can carry a note, because because the Bodyguard was something to where it was requested. That soundtrack alone was requested in so many languages worldwide. It was many of the songs were requested to be sung by her worldwide, and a lot of people got married to a lot of to I Will Always Love You, or not married, but it was just like a love, it was like a love song of the year, that particular song. That's how many people loved it. So that's what they're gonna have to top. And so when you
yeah,
say Cardi B and Lizzo, and you see how they treat their bodies on camera, and the things that come out of their mouths, it kind of makes, like, you think of Whitney. I'm not saying Whitney was perfect by all means. No, I'm talking about her voice.
yeah,
And
and the image too, like that type
yeah,
of movie. You don't think of, you could think of Kelly Rowland like a man falling in love with her, and the romantic part of it. But Cardi B and Liz, you're thinking more of a. You don't really think of that, and I'm not saying they're not like that, but it just the
white
image.
guy from Jersey said Rihanna.
Yeah,
He
Rihanna.
said Rihanna.
I
Mm.
I think Rihanna could work. Um,
No,
I
it'll be a no for me. I love Rihanna too. She's one of my favorite artists, but she can't carry a tune past the Navy wave. Sorry, she just can't. I'm thinking about somebody that can really carry a tune. Now, Lizzo would be great, but they would tell her she would need to drop a significant amount of weight if she was to cast a Whitney. They tell artists that all the time. Artists have had to drop weight, gain weight to play certain characters. But Lizzo's voice is beautiful. Would they cast her? I don't like. I agree with what you're saying, Humbly Complex, about body images and things.
yeah,
Because they are talented.
yeah, no doubt they are. I mean, um, I I haven't heard Monique. I think Lizzo. I don't know much about Lizzo. I think Monique's kind of rough in her image, and nothing to say bad about her. And you can have a successful movie with a woman that's plus size, sure. I mean, I'm not saying we're just going on weight. I'm just going on the image and the personality. And the ugly truth is that people ain't going to like it because you have a woman that's plus size.
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
mean, honestly, it's up to those women. Unfortunately, Lizzo is feeding literally into the stereotypes that plus size women are trying to derail from. So she's feeding those stereotypes. No one's forcing her. Same with Monique. She has every right to turn down a role that she thinks is stereotypical, but the movies that she's portrayed were her choice. So no one told her to play Precious's mom or Roscoe's big little sister. She took on those roles herself. So it would be up to plus size and voluptuous shaped women in those industries to say, you know what, you guys aren't you aren't casting me or women that look like me correctly, and you would have to then maybe go and create your own production company or continue to only attract and accept roles that are dignified. That goes for any, I believe, any actor or actress. You have to take dignified roles
yeah.
to
But
kill
I
the
mean,
stereotypes.
you could do a movie with a woman that's plus size, that's talented. Sure. I mean, and that might work because a lot of people ain't don't look like supermodels, that don't look like, well, Whitney Houston or Kelly Rowland. A lot of people don't look like that. So, um, yeah, I think that could work. And some people would like to see something more down there, more realistic when it comes to the everyday people. People do identify with that. Um,
And
you
I
know,
agree. I would like to see. I think that's basically what we were trying to say. Like what Jersey guy is saying, we just want he said to have someone that's in a believable interracial relationship.
yeah,
Whoever you cast to make sure it's believable.
yeah, exactly. And that's why I
You
think
really
Kevin.
can you seriously envision Cardi B in an intro? She wouldn't even know how to act. I mean, not act. I mean, but can you really visually see her acting in The Bodyguard? I mean, literally, can you? I don't know what role she would possibly play if I don't know. What could you? Yeah, so I get what Jersey guy's saying. Making it believable
Yeah,
and relatable. You
and
know.
Cardi B, um, I don't think a lot of people would believe her in an interracial role. I know it's just a movie, it's fantasy, but some of the stuff she had, the beefs with Candace Owens, what she said about her white husband. She went there in on her about that.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. And yeah, Candace
That-
could shut her down with the law, honey. I don't know much about Candace Owens, but when I do hear her speak, I'm like, well, damn, she knows her laws and things like that. But I do remember the back and the forth that the two of them had, and I think Cardi B had to apologize, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, because some of the stuff she said, because she went, I think she'd been okay if she just went on Candace Owens, but then she started talking about her husband, and her husband's a white guy, and I think her father has, or his father, her husband's father is a big political guy in England. I think he's like in something to do in their government.
Yeah,
So I
absolutely.
mean, uh, I don't know. I think you can have beefs with anybody and say what you want, but when you go in on their wives or husbands or kids, I think that's kind of
Off
that's
limits.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's off limits. I mean, if I have a problem with the guy, why am I going to talk about his wife? That ain't right.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
the kids. I
Keep it to the point of what we're talking about.
Yeah. Let's
It's a
it's
flex.
me. Let's go in on you and me.
Yeah.
And
And
leave
I
it at.
agree with Carol. Miss Carol Whitney wasn't. I think that's why we have such a hard time of saying like, who's going to redo the movie and what?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I don't. No one can. I've never heard anyone sound like Whitney Houston in my life. I mean, she just has a rare voice. As a child, I'm like, there's no one. I've never heard that voice before, and to this day, I've never heard anyone that I've heard that says that sounds like Whitney. She just has a distinct unique voice, and it can't, I don't know, it can't be copied. But shout out to the ones that are going to redo the movie.
Yeah. I hope whoever does it, it's a good movie. I just I just got my opinions on who should be and who shouldn't, but that's just me. But I mean, yeah, I mean, and she brings emotion to her songs. I mean, you know that one song she did, One Moment in Time? I remember she did that back in the Olympics. I mean, that song was inspiring. It was like, you know, it's telling a story about these athletes that train their whole life and just give it all for just that one moment. Say they accomplished it, they did it, and you know, you see that, and it's an emotional song. You think about that, and it's like,
and
wow.
even her rendition of the Star Spangled Banner, like it was a classic for years.
Yeah, right at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah. Gosh, man, she was.
I think some ballers were even crying. Like I remember they said like some ballers were like football players were like touched. You know, they had like tears in the corner. She did an awesome job.
She did. I mean, gosh, oh man. I don't think we'll ever see a talent like that again. I'm sure we're going to see talented people come forth, sure. But she was like one in a million, you know? One of those that just.
Yeah. I'm just sad the way she went out. Yeah, her and her daughter. I'm just sorry because I know she always wanted to have a family and always wanted to have children, and she wanted to just, you know, I remember she didn't want to go on tour. They said she didn't want to go on tour. She didn't want to do all of those things. She wanted to just be a mom and have a baby and all of those things. And you know, Clive and them told like this is a once in a lifetime. Like because I will always love you took off. It was like #1 for forever. I mean, I was sick of it being #1. Like people were like, who's gonna break it? And when it finally went to #2, it made the news. It did because it was #1 for so, and then it was #1 internationally in different parts of the world. So she had like a lot of people requesting her to tour, to sing that song and to sing songs from that soundtrack and from her previous albums as well.
Yeah. No doubt. That movie was awesome. And she was an awesome actor. I mean, but yeah, she could put emotion in songs and really get you listen to them and you start thinking about things, you can get emotional. I was like, gosh. I know I did a video on a while back on that one song, One Moment in Time. I'm thinking, you know, not just super. I mean, you could put that song with anything. Like, you know, most of us aren't super athletes or in the Olympics, but you know, when you accomplish stuff in your life, I think of that song. You know, like, you know, when you set a goal and you work hard for years and you finally get there, and it might not be something glamorous. It might be just a job you always wanted and you finally get it because you put in the work, and or you see your kids graduate. I know when my oldest daughter got her master's degree at Arizona State, I got so emotional with that. And you know, every time my kids graduate, I have a big event for them, and I give them a little speech, and I always get emotional because, you know, I have so much love for my kids, and when they do something wonderful like that, it gets to me. It's like, you know,
It's an accomplishment worth being emotional about, because not everybody makes it to finish college. That's something that's a choice. You don't have to go to college. So to choose to continue your education and to choose to sacrifice, I mean, you should be crying, you should be cheering, you should be rooting for your children in the stands. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I would give a speech because I'd have the whole family over. We'd have a big event, and
I can just envision you crying, like, and and you're like, I know I'm going on, guys, but let me just finish this thought. Let me just. I could see you really getting into your speeches, Brett. I really could.
I did, and then my daughter, when she graduated, she said, "Dad, you're going to have to give me your speech." I said, "Oh," and then my youngest daughter, when she graduated high school, you know, and yeah, I,
Oh,
I just lose it because, and especially with education, God, me and my wife have, we put our kids in private schools, charter schools. We've taken education serious. So, and my story, and I always tell people this, and this is real humbling. Um, I graduated high school, and when I went in the Army, they tested me, and my reading level was at a sixth grade level. My reading wasn't good, and thanks to them doing that, and I tell people the Army taught me how to read, and they really did because and it was a humbling thing because it was embarrassing. And I graduated high school and I couldn't really read, and I had to take classes. I had to have tutors myself to get up to speed, and I was encouraged, and I took some college classes. I never got past an associate's, but I did go back and I improved myself. And, me and my wife, we always said, you know what, we're going to make sure our kids are educated because we want them to have a shot in life.
yeah.
Because it's competitive. And I've been fortunate, I've, with the Army, it springboarded me into my career now. And I have my retirement, and me and my wife are set up pretty good, but I just wanted my kids to be self-sufficient. I wanted them to be able to compete at a high level, um, to have a decent career, not so much to have a lot of money, but to be successful to where they can have stuff in life. They can have a home, they can have a family, they can have the securities. And, so when they do accomplish stuff like that, I get emotional because me and my wife have spent a lot of money. We've prayed a lot. We've sacrificed. And when
This
they
is
do
the
it,
fruits of your labor. I mean, and it's always, I commend any parent that, when your children have successes, it's like, wow, the things you went through, the things you sacrificed, those things are to be spoken and praised. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with in encouraging your children to compete for the right things, to compete for their success, compete for their happiness, compete for the things that they want in life. So those are good, in my opinion, those are good talking points.
yeah. But
Specific talking points.
yeah, but I don't mean to get off topic, guys. But I was just referring to that Whitney Houston song, and I thought about my daughter in that song, that moment in time. She had her moment in time because she accomplished something nobody in my family has yet. We got people that went to college, but not a master's degree.
Yeah.
And, you know, she's 26 years old and has already accomplished that. But I mean, she was on the honor roll all through school. She was on the dean's list in college. A lot of the money she got for college wasn't from me and my wife. A lot of it was from scholarships.
Scholarship.
Yeah, she got academic scholarships. She was that smart. I mean,
Absolutely. And she
and
deserves everything of it. She put in the work. If you put in the work, you get the results. And your daughter put in the work. Your children put in the work. No one forced them. You encourage them, but it's ultimately their decision, and they put in the work. So kudos to her. Yeah, absolutely. She put in
yeah,
the work.
but to me and my wife, her having that moment in time, me and my wife had our moment in time, and it was just an awesome thing. And but anyway, I don't want to get too wrapped up in that. I start getting emotional, and I'll start giving you guys a speech. You'd be like,
No,
okay,
it's all good.
let's
It's
get
all
back.
good. I think Humbly Complex, she said that she appreciated the scene between Rachel and Frank Farmer when they were dancing and the plate had shattered in the background. And he was like, it's okay, I'll protect you. That was sexy too. I have to agree, Humbly Complex. That was like, yeah, that was a sexy part of this. I have to say, I like that scene too. When they were
Okay,
dancing in the country bar
yeah,
and they were dancing and a plate or something had broke. and she was a little startled.
Oh, and then he just like comforted her, like, yeah, I'll protect you.
And I like when she put her head on his shoulder. That was nice too. I was like, oh shucks, go Whitney.
The acting was so good, starting to believe
I
that.
know. I'm like, get it, Whitney. She was flirting with him the entire. When I look, I'm like, she had flirtatious eyes. She was flirt. I mean, I wouldn't say flirt. She had alluring. Her mannerisms were like she was sizing him up, looking him up and down. You know, so he was appealing to her from what I looked. From when I looked at the film this morning, he was very. I think she found him very appealing
Yeah.
from the get go.
Oh, hey, white guy from Jersey. It's Airborne School. Yeah, not Aerosol. Aerosol is the 101st. I don't know. He might maybe later in his career go into that. I maybe go to Aerosol School, but it's Airborne School. They being in the 82nd. They want everybody to be airborne qualified. So yeah, that's what he went to. Okay, I'm sorry. I just saw that he was asking me that question because I was telling him how my son's in the 82nd Airborne. So yeah,
That's beautiful.
yeah, but
That is.
that movie was good. And you know what? A lot of that stuff, I know it was fantasy and it's a movie, but some of those things you can pick out in everyday life when it comes to interracial relationships, marriages. You know, some of the things they do, me and my wife have done, you know, how we treat each other and stuff. And, you know,
I do
so,
think if they do a remake, I think the ending won't be a goodbye. I did remember at the end he went on to be a bodyguard for someone else. Maybe it looked like a prime minister. So I didn't see the end.
oh, yeah,
I
that's
thought the
good.
end was when she just gave him a kiss on the plane, off the plane on the runway. So yeah, it did look like it was just not the right time, not the right place, you know.
Okay, Amy, you just blew my fantasy ending. My ending
Who's
was they got.
Amy? Amy? Oh, I'm Miss Fertility today. Okay, I'll
Oh,
be
sorry,
Miss
I say
Fertility.
Amy. April. Sorry.
I'll
Where
be
where
Amy.
is Amy?
Amy's been around. She said she got a new
Oh,
laptop
I,
and yeah. I wish
I
Miss Fertility would get back up here.
yeah, I sent her a link for the show. Um, yeah, she asked me to send a link, and I can't send it till I set up the show. But I sent her one today. Maybe she's just busy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I no,
beautiful.
she was just on my mind because I was wondering what happened to Amy. I but I seen her a couple times. But sorry,
Yeah.
April and Amy kind of. But
Mm.
yeah, April, you kind of blowing my fantasy ending to the movie. Okay, my thing
Okay.
was is she ran back to him. They got married and it ended well.
That's what I thought. And then at the end, but at the end he was like, but see, we don't know if it still could be where, he's waiting to get back home to her. So I don't know. They
Yeah,
might
no,
have arranged it when they go. I don't know. They have very busy lives that
yeah,
don't intersect, you know?
I was just messing with you, but I do remember that part. He did work for some high profile person. I forgot about that.
I did too. I think because
Yeah, I
people
was
were
like,
stuck on the end of them in the
yeah,
runway.
yeah. When you said that, I was like, oh yeah, he did. Because I just pictured the end where they're on the airfield and she runs back to him and kisses her, and so I thought, okay, that's an open ending. But then they did show him working for someone else.
I know. And he did a really good job. He just did a good job on the film. He did a
Yeah,
really good job on the film. A lot of people have a lot of respect for Kevin Costner. I think because he's such a humble actor. I never hear anything about Kevin Costner in a negative light. Not that I can recall.
I
He's just
haven't
very well
either.
respected as a
Yeah,
writer, as a producer.
yeah, and his movies are good, and I haven't seen him really. I don't know how his ego is or nothing, but I haven't seen that in him to where he portrays himself as something great. He seems like he's got a, like you're saying, a humbleness about himself.
Yeah.
You
And
know, and that,
that's what's lacking a lot. I think
yeah,
whoever they cast, that he's definitely going to have to be humble and conservative, because that's what he portrayed. He did not sugarcoat anything. He just was direct to the point, but he was also very respectful too. So I think he
yeah,
genuinely looks like that type in real life. I don't know, but
yeah. He seems that way, and I like how he, when they did it, when they talked about the movie after it happened, and they interviewed him, and he always lifted up Whitney. He always complimented. When you heard him talk about it, it seemed like she was the only one in the movie because he talked about her and how good of a job she did and what it was never like, well, yeah, we were good together and I did this and, I did this pretty good. It wasn't about him, that you'll see in a lot of actors where, and I'm sure with the success and the fame, I mean, it's human nature. It does go to our heads, but I think he just handled that well. And, it just seems like he has humility. Like he don't think he's all that. Now he may think he's great, but I don't see it. If he does, he hides it well from what I've seen.
he
And
does. He does.
I do like how he compliments her. That was really, and and she deserves the credit. I mean, I look at that movie and it's like she's been an actress forever. It don't look like her first movie. And how many actresses can you say that about, that you watch their first movie? You can pick out some mistakes or something they could have done better, but with her, it was like, wow.
I agree.
And yeah, and maybe they just had such a good team that they could put it together, but it came out good, and I like the movie.
I don't see any other any other singer in that era that could have pulled that off.
Yeah, I mean, who was around then? Maybe
You had Madonna, Janet.
uh,
Who else
yeah,
was popular in the 80s? And Mariah Carey.
maybe,
Those
maybe close to it. Maybe Tony Braxton.
Tony Braxton could have, yeah. Now you're redeeming yourself. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
No, I
Tony
love Tony
Braxton.
Braxton. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I mean,
Tony could do it. Yeah.
yeah, she could play that role, I think. That glamorous. Yeah, she could. Yeah, because Janet, I guess maybe, but I think Tony Braxton would be really good. I mean, she's just unique. Her voice is unique. Her her look. I mean, she could have short hair back in the day and look really good. Some women can't pull that off. She could. And a lot of her songs were good too. I mean, yeah. And that was a tragic story with her too, how she went bankrupt and she got lupus at the end, if you follow her. And yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she had lupus.
I think that's what it was. Don't quote me because I could be wrong, but I believe she was sick though. I know that to be true because she had like a lawsuit or something going on with I think with Babyface's company. I think they were doing something.
Face Records. Yeah.
Yeah, and she got a lawsuit on that because she went bankrupt. I mean, and I remember she was like on the Oprah show, and Oprah was going in on her, like. But a lot of that, if you dig down, it wasn't all her fault. I mean, she got sick, things happened, and I guess some people managed the money wrong, and you hear that story a lot. I mean, well, if you look at TLC, back when they hit it big, they were making like what did they say, like $30,000 a year, and I was like, dang, back in the Army in that day, I was doing better than them, and they're mega superstars. But I guess I guess some of the record labels and stuff, they take so much money for this and that, and it.
Yeah, she should have. I mean, a lot of people were, not reading their contracts and not understanding the financial aspect of it. But I do recall, her saying how she went from like Egyptian cotton sheets to 300 thread count sheets, and she just lost me at that point. Yeah, she had mentioned the shift of her riches now being not having money. So she said not having Egyptian cotton count. I think it was 1,000 thread. I think she said in one of the magazines when she first was going through it. But you do have to read your contracts. A lot of Arista or LaFace artists, TLC, a lot of those artists discussed the music industry and how much you make per album, a penny or whatever. And so,
Yeah,
it is important to read, the contract, because they do have such amazing voices, but they don't own the rights to their music at all. The record labels do. So, but I
yeah,
agree. I think Tony would have been, yeah, she's definitely someone that can do a ballad. She's a ballad singer like Whitney. She
yeah.
has range and emotion, and she can, yeah. So she has range and emotion just like Whitney. Deborah Cox too. Deborah Cox has range. She's a Canadian singer, but her and Whitney were very good friends. And
Oh,
also, if Whitney Houston was alive, she probably would promote Lizzo. I mean, her and Kelly Price were friends, so I don't know.
yeah.
And Whitney was very selective on who she gave credit on talent. She didn't just give someone talent and say they could sing. She definitely was one of those that threw a lot of shade at people who couldn't sing. So,
Carol says Anita Baker. I love Anita Baker. I don't know if she. I don't know. What do you think?
Anita's like 70, isn't she?
Well, yeah, she's up
Now?
there, but I'm talking like in her prime because when she started, she was up there in age. But
I
um,
like Anita's sultriness. She has this sultriness to her. When I was growing up listening to her, I was like, go on, yeah. I like giving you the best that I got. I was like, she's a composure singer. Like she can hit notes without being all extra. Like Aretha, she's more flamboyant when she sings and more out there. But Anita's more poised, and then she just has such a wide range. So I agree. She's another one who's a great ballad singer as well.
oh
With good
yeah, Anita Baker and her song. I mean, how I picture Anita Baker is, you look back at her. I mean, she's up in age now, but you look back when she was big and stuff, and what was attracted with her is she her songs, but how she carried herself. She just seems like
yeah,
that traditional woman that
yeah,
you would find in church that would just
mm,
fall in love with you and you have
right.
family
And
together with.
yeah.
I mean, I
And
don't know
I've
what.
never heard anyone say, and like I never saw Anita hanging packs of people. I've never, when I was growing up, I've always seen her come. She would do her little song, accept her award, do her speech, and dip off. I never really saw her hang in the industry too much. I could be wrong, but she just seemed like she carried her own. And everyone respected her. I never saw anyone say anything negative about her or have any gripe or beef with her at all. She always just was poised, and she would just get her accolades and dip off somewhere.
Yeah, and her songs just had so much meaning, and I mean, I still listen to her music. I love Anita Baker was a good singer, no doubt. I mean, um,
Humbly Complex said Jill Scott as Rachel and Tom Hanks as Frank Farmer.
no, I would say no.
Jenny,
No, I.
why don't you love me, Jenny? Rachel? No, no. Okay. All right. And then Jersey guy said, who would you cast as the jealous sister? I thought if Cardi B was going to be, she would be the jealous
Oh,
sister.
you
That's why
know
I'm like,
what?
well, yeah.
She might fit into that. Yeah, she would be a good jealous Cardi B. You know what? there are roles for everybody. I think Cardi B would be a good jealous sister because you know, she's kind of got that feisty attitude and kind of says what's on her mind, and maybe I don't know, you catch them having an sister argument back and forth, and
Yeah, I think the remake will be more honed in on the sisterly relationship more so than the original did. I think they're gonna definitely shine more light on the rivalry more
yeah,
so than the 90s version did. So I definitely see them,
yeah, and,
yeah.
yeah, and you know what, Cardi B could be like the rapper hip hop type singer that was good but not as good, and it just didn't work out like she wanted. But
Yeah, it's like people that don't work out, they go on maybe make it on Love and Hip Hop or something.
yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
something like that. Yeah.
spins into a reality show that she becomes famous like that, but she's always wanted a singing career like her sister. Maybe, I
Yeah.
mean, you can, yeah, you can dig more into that.
Right. Or
Maybe,
maybe rides her coattail, maybe rides the sister's coattail, maybe the sisters, because in the original movie with Rachel tried to include her sister. She didn't shade her sister or any of those things. She tried to include her sister, but her sister, I'm surprised that Frank Farmer didn't really investigate the people closest to her a little bit more
yeah,
at first, because they were given telltale signs of, it was a lot of people in her entourage that were given kind of vibes where you like, I need to check their background, like the pictures that were on the wall. You could see when Rachel was up front and center, you saw the sister in the back. Her mouth was just poked out. She was upset. She was not in the limelight. So those were red flags right there. So I did see where his eyebrows went up a little bit, but yeah, I would have investigated more because she was in charge of getting the fan mail and stuff.
yeah, and that's kind of hard because you could have brothers and sisters that are jealous of you, but most of the time they still love you. They don't want to harm you. Maybe they don't want you to be successful as you are, but usually they don't want to kill you. I mean, this sister hired a hitman to actually take her out. So
I think she wanted to replace her sister I think once her sister was gone, then she would have said, okay, now it's my time to step up to the limelight and take what's
yeah,
mine. So
maybe
yeah,
that.
that's pretty awful.
Yeah, and when you hit something when you said that, because in the movie when she was talking about her sister, she said, "Well, you can have why just get one sister when you can have both?" Remember, she said that to him. I
When
ain't going
she
to
was drunk,
say,
when she was in the cabin sloppy drunk, she tried to get
yeah,
on to Frank and he resisted. And even the letter, it was saying, why should you have everything? I have nothing and I'm gonna make sure you have nothing. You have nothing at all. And I'm like, that's really personal. That would sound like someone that knows you. So just looking in hindsight, I mean, that letter was very much personal.
yeah.
So yeah.
That's just interesting. We're talking about it and we're picking out stuff that a lot of times when you see the movie, you don't really pick up on everything. And that's just interesting. Hey, I want to show a video real quick because I was going to have my wife come on with us too, but she's getting stuff together so we can leave tonight. But I made a little video of it of me and my wife talking about the movie. I'm going to show it real quick, and plus I got to take a quick bathroom break, so I'm going to show that real quick, and then I'll come back and we watched it early this morning, and we just got through watching it. I just threw on one of my hockey jerseys, um, but I'm going to show that right now, guys. My wife was going to be part of the show, but we did a quick video, and I'm going to show that real quick while I go to the bathroom, and then I'll be right back. Let me add this to the stream. Hello, how's everybody doing? I'm just sitting here with my wife, Sandy, and we just got done watching the movie Bodyguard. We've seen it like how many times? Like several.
Let's say about 10.
Yeah. So it came out back in 1992, and that was before we even met.
Right.
And we just got done watching it, and here soon I'm going to be doing here in about an hour a live show on the movie review Bodyguard. But my wife's got to step out, and we're getting ready to go to El Paso tonight, so we got a lot of stuff we got to do. So she won't be on the live show, so we're making this quick video, and she wanted to just give a little bit of her take of the movie. The movie stars Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner, and to me it's a classic movie, and it's a good movie about interracial relationship. She's a big star, big singer, and she was in real life too, but the movie, that's the part she plays, and he plays the bodyguard, a no-nonsense guy that ends up working for her, ends up falling in love with her, and I'm not going to tell the whole story of the movie, but it's a good movie.
It is. It's a good romantic movie, throwback movie, as we call it right now, because everything is pretty much throwback movies, like older movies back in the day, as a lot of people would say. But it is a nice romantic movie. Kevin Costner and Whitney really had a great chemistry, not only as on screen, but I guess off screen too as well. So they develop a really close bond too, and you can really see it in the movie, and it just has a lot of romantic and caring, and just looking out for one another in the movie. So I always loved that movie. The chemistry was always great. When you watch the movie, you can see the bond, and it just draws you in. So when you look at that, it's just, you feel like you want to be there and have that type of relationship with whoever that you want to go ahead and be with. So the movie, it's always a nice movie, good romantic movie to watch, and very classic.
Yeah, and in real life, they were actually really good friends too. I mean, he really really cared for her. I mean,
yeah, she had his heart. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so they were close. They had developed a friendship from that, and it was his idea to actually have her star in the movie, and it kind of
started her career.
It started her movie career.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she was great as a singer. I mean, nobody had a voice like her, but it got her in the movies, and there was some controversy because it was an interracial movie. But overall, most people I ever talked to loved the movie. I mean, good acting. I mean, she did awesome. Just that was her first movie, and it was like she was a natural in it. And they're trying to do a remake of it. I'm hearing they're trying to get Cardi B or Lizzo. To me, I don't think that's a good idea. A classic movie like that, I think, should be left alone.
Yeah.
But
there's some movies that should be left alone and kind of just stay in its glory and be done. But you can only do so many remixes, especially the time span. So with the time span, it's just kind of hard to grasp that. So when you have a movie like that, it's a classic. I just think that should be.
Yeah, and plus,
alone.
It's about her. It's a memory we have of, a special, talented singer, someone that was beautiful that tragically left. It's a classic, and it's something about her we could watch and have memories. And to all the Whitney Houston fans and stuff.
Right.
And of course, Kevin Costner's a good actor, and
yeah.
So I mean, it was a good movie. Chemistry was
Kevin Costner is very diverse. He's always willing to try something new with whatever actors that he has, especially with the other movies that he has been in. That's been with black actors and stuff. So he's always been very open.
And when that came out, I thought it was a great idea. I mean, you know, I was always interested in the interracial thing, but you know, it was. I mean, it was a great movie, a blockbuster, and it still today it's a classic. And I think it should be left alone. That's my own opinion. People could remake anything, but to me, there will be no one that can replace Whitney Houston. And but
If you haven't seen the movie, you know, take a look at it, or you know, go ahead and look at it again to go ahead and just get some of those special moments that you like, or those favorite moments that you like, and time, you know, and stuff like that. So you know, go ahead and do a recap of the movie, or if you haven't seen, like I said, go ahead and watch it. It's you won't be disappointed.
yeah, and it's a movie you could rewatch later and still enjoy it.
Right.
You know. But anyway, my wife's got to step out, and I'll be going live here in about an hour. And I was going to do a 2-part show, but we got to go out of town. We got some business, and you know, but we got a 4.5-hour drive. but
Fun.
but yeah, I want to
Road trip. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun. We'll be tired by tomorrow, but oh well.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We'll watch some movies on the way.
Yeah, there you go. But anyway, thank you guys. And I was going to have a surprise my wife in the video, but things are, you know, kind of chaotic right now. I mean, not bad. We just got
Other things on their plate.
yeah, business stuff to do. And you know, so I got to cut this kind of short this Sunday, but I wanted to get my wife. I had it planned to where she's going to be on the show with me, but I'm doing this video so my Sandy baby could be part of the show this week. But anyway, you know, thank you guys, and I'll see you on the live. Okay.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, and I just wanted to bring my wife on, and you know, she's taking care of business so I can do this movie review, and you know, she's getting stuff taken care of before we you know, drive out to El Paso and do what we need to do. She's taking care of that. She said, go ahead, you know, I'll take care of it and you do your show. And you know, I love my wife for that. I mean, that's just her personality. She you know, does things for me so I could do what I want to do. And you know, the reason I've accomplished what I have, and is because of my wife, because she's always put me first, and that's a blessing that, I mean, you just can't buy. It comes straight from God, and you know, she's just awesome. But you know, I just wanted to put her on there, and I wanted to bring her on today, but you know, things going on and stuff, and you know, I didn't want to not do any show today, Sunday. So she said, I'll take care of stuff. You just do your show, and you know, I'll do a video and do my little take on it, and I'll go ahead and take care of things. And you know, that was just awesome. But you know, I just wanted to. I originally planned on having her sit with me here behind the desk and talking about it, you know, and but anyway,
Well, I thought this was a good one. Next week, are we doing a Bronx Tale?
a Bronx.
Decide on what the next movie is going to be?
I guess we could. I don't think I've seen a. Oh, I've seen a Bronx Tale. That's with
Terrell
what's it-
Hicks and Lilo. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Yeah, he's in New York, and his dad's a bus driver or something, like in the
Yeah.
is it 1950s?
Yeah. Yes.
And he
It's
falls
set
in
in
love
that
with this black
Uh-huh.
woman, and they're kind of connected to the mob, sort of.
Yes. But they made
Yeah.
they were a part of the movie, but they really were the highlight of the movie. A lot of people talked about those two characters making a big part of the movie. So yeah.
Yeah, we can do a Bronx Tale. Like, yeah, let's do that one. There's a lot of good movies people have sent me on my email, and guys, I'm looking at everybody's movies, and I'm going to do them. The only ones I don't want to do is ones that have a hard racial um, I don't know, like kind of something that would trigger people, you might say. I want to keep more of it positive. So if it has like something to do with racial hate crimes or people assaulting each other, I don't want to go there. Um, I want it to be positive movies. So if because I don't know, we got enough negativity out there. I want to when we come into the channel, I want it to just come in. We feel good. Um, we have a good time, and
Humbly Complex asked, did you see or hear about a movie called Paris Blues?
Paris Blues. Uh-uh. Somebody sent me something I haven't reviewed yet. And let's see, what was I got one that was an old movie with Paul Newman. I haven't even looked at it yet. No, I haven't seen Paris Blues. I got to go in tomorrow night after I get done working, and maybe at the hotel I'll sit back and watch some of these movies people requested. Karina was another one. A Bronx Tale, that was one. And April, you sent me one too.
Yeah, I have to go back and look. I thought it was good. It's a series.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a movie, but it's a series and it's pretty interesting. I haven't finished watching it, but once I'll give you my opinion on it. But so far, it's not anything that would be triggering or anything. It's really more modern day.
Yeah. Yeah, Thelma, I got your email. I haven't opened a lot of my emails. I've been really busy at work and stuff, and I will get to them though, and I will review these movies.
They say Lakeview Terrace. Yeah, I did throw Lakeview Terrace. Lakeview Terrace was nice too.
What was it?
Lakeview Terrace with Kerry Washington and Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah, he couldn't. Yeah, it was a really good movie. He kind of terrorized them. They moved into his neighborhood, and he just did not like them together. So he like terrorized them with like the bright lights and yeah, he was off.
Oh yeah, I saw that movie. Oh my God, yeah, I remember it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one too. I like that.
It was, and that guy was so upset, and oh my gosh, and you see stuff kind of like that. Like you might see a black guy that sees a white guy with a black woman and not like it, or even the other way around. That's just life sometimes. Yeah, that was a good movie.
Yeah, and for those who haven't seen it, it was a reason why he was acting the way he did. So I won't give that away, but he had a reason why he behaved the way he did. But it's a good movie. It's suspenseful thriller. That's also a good movie to watch as well.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put that on the list. I think we should do a review on that one. We'll go with Bronx Tale next week. But yeah, let's look into that. I'm gonna do that one. That one was a good movie. Now that you brought it up, I was like, oh my God. And Samuel Jackson played a good role, man. I mean, he's a good actor, but he just played it well. He was jealous and mad and angry.
He gave that guy a hard time. He was.
He did.
He couldn't breathe correctly. He just was.
Yeah, and the guy was trying to be neighborly, and I don't know, one of the episodes he was working on his car and slammed his hand or something, made it look like accidentally.
Yeah. He made it hard on him a lot. So it was interesting.
And then his daughter was talking to Kerry Washington about interracial relations. That was, oh man, that made him upset.
He flipped, yeah.
Yeah.
Triggered.
Yeah, that was a good movie. Oh yeah, you guys got to watch that. What's it called again? I know it's with Kerry Washington and Samuel Jackson.
It's called Lakeview Terrace. I believe it came out in the early millennial years. So it's with Kerry Washington. I don't know the gentleman who played her husband, but I don't know his name, but it starred Samuel L. Jackson. And I think the setting was in California. And she's also her character is also kind of like upper class. She has money, da 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 da, whatever. But the setting is like it looks like California setting. So yeah, it's an interesting film.
Yeah. Humbly Complex asked if I watched the show Scandal. I haven't followed Scandal. I think I seen one episode. I never really got into it. And I like Kerry Washington. She's beautiful and everything. She's a good actress, but I just never watched it. I think me and my wife tried to watch one episode, and I guess she's having an affair with the president, and yeah, something. Yeah, I know it was a popular show, but I never really got into it. I don't know. I just don't gravitate to, I don't know, controversial shows where there's adultery or extramarital affairs or that type of stuff. I don't know.
I can totally respect it. But yeah, that was Shondaland. So Shonda Rhimes, I just like her. She's an excellent fictional writer. So she wrote like that and How to Get Away with Murder. So she did a lot of casting with Black women and white men. So they were tumultuous, but she did a lot of interracial relationships. So she was more a liberated writer. So a lot of people that had more conservative views didn't agree with the adultery and her behavior.
Yeah, so. And maybe that's my deal. I'm more traditional, so I kind of don't really get into that. I know. I mean, I can watch it, and it's just a movie, but I just never got into Scandal. I never watched it. I know it was very popular. Yeah, but that show you were talking about, How to Get Away with Murder, that's a good show.
Yeah.
I get into that one. Yeah, that's it has you going, and you don't know who's done what or yeah.
Absolutely.
That's a good show, yeah, because it twists you like you think she did the murder and someone else did it, and
Absolutely.
She knew about it, but then she didn't. I don't know. They twist it good to where you're caught off guard.
Yeah. Well, Brett, I hate to bid you farewell. I must go get my hike on before it gets dusk here. I thought, you have to get going too, because it's
we got a long drive.
So it was an awesome review. It was fun. It was interesting. I look forward to your lives throughout the week and seeing everybody for the movie review next week. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to do a live show Thursday night.
Okay.
I'm going to be off work Thursday night, and I'm going to do a show there, and I'm probably going to hit up one last time on networking. And what I covered last time is getting out of the comfort zone. We talked about vetting. We talked about networking, going to the right place, being around the group of people you want to be around, and I just wanted to hit on that because a lot of times we blow our opportunities. We squander our opportunities because we're not comfortable. We're scared. We're worried about what people will think, and that's just a lot of times people don't interracially date or are married because getting out of that comfort zone. And some people, they get out of it and things work out wonderful. I jumped out of my comfort zone, and you know what? There's no comfort zone issue anymore. And there wasn't many years ago. It went away. So I want to hit on that one more time and then
Right.
I'll go into a different thing. But I think that's a good discussion, stuff we can learn about. And I can learn too, even though I'm not in the dating thing, but I could learn how people think a little bit. And we get everybody's perspective because everybody on this channel, we're from different areas, different parts of the United States. Some are from, a lot of people watch from Canada, the Caribbean, Jamaica, Trinidad, Africa, the UK. I look at my analytics and it tells me where people are viewing from, and all over. And that's really a neat thing, connecting with someone that's from a different place than you and has a little bit of a different perspective, and that's how we learn. And that's always good. But anyway, let me go ahead and close this up. April, I appreciate you coming on and co-hosting this movie review with me, and I appreciate each and every one of you coming on, and and we'll do a Bronx Tale next weekend, next Sunday. I think I will leave Sunday for the movie review, and then Saturday night I'll do the Saturday Night Live, where I do the show on the topic of the week. And then this week I'm going to do Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday.
That sounds awesome. I look forward to all of the upcoming lives. I look forward to hearing what you have to say about networking. And until then, I wish everyone in the chat an awesome week. Get some sun. Enjoy the fall. Brent, have a safe trip. Give Mrs. Sandy my love. Safe travels. And I'm going to sign off, everybody. Take care until next time.
Okay,
Bye.
April, thanks for coming on. We'll see you.
Peace.
You take care. All right. So, that concludes the movie review today. And thank you guys for watching. Thanks for your comments and stuff. And, we'll do next movie review will be a Bronx Tale. I'll put it on the community page. And so if you haven't seen it, take a look at that movie. And if you want to come on and host a movie, I'll let other people come on and host, and or if you want to just be on the jump on panel and come on and do a movie review with me there. And I always put on a jump on panel. So if you do want to talk about the movie and say what you think about it, and a lot of times I don't read every comment, and I'm sorry, I'm just not good at it. But I do try to read as much as I can. And, I appreciate you guys watching. And thanks for coming on. I'll be reviewing emails. Give me tomorrow. Tomorrow night, I'll look at it. And if you send me an email, I'll respond to you. I just been crushed with work lately. And I'm trying to do these live shows too. And, but anyway, thank you guys for watching. Next live I'm going to do is Thursday night. I'll have one Thursday night, Saturday night, and then Sunday we'll do the movie review. So those are the 3 shows. I might drop a video in between. I'll see how much time I have. And, we'll go from there. But thank you guys for watching. And I will put a video. I don't like to go more than 2 days without doing a live or putting up a video. So you'll at least get a video in a couple days. But next weekend, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday are going to be the live shows. And anyway, I thank you for coming on, everybody. God bless you. God bless your families. And always remember, I'm going to say this. Life starts at the end of your comfort zone, like that sign said. And that's true. I mean, people, for you to leap into success, you got to get out of that comfort zone. But anyway, I love you guys. I love you, April, for coming on. She did an awesome job. And, and I thank you guys for the comments and stuff. And I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope it was entertaining. I hope you enjoyed the movie Bodyguard, and I hope you enjoyed Bronx Tale. Go out and watch Bronx Tale, and we'll do a movie review on that next week. Okay? So I'll talk to you later. God bless you and your families, and I'll see you on the next video or live show.